What is going on, Panthers Nation? I am here today to talk about a head coaching candidate for the Carolina Panthers in Ben Johnsoon. The hottest name, at least in the Carolinas right now, is Ben Johnsoon. Rumors are he's going to demand $15 million, and there's no doubt in my mind that Tepper's got that in the bank. Can easily pay that as he goes out here paying $300,000 fines for throwing water on fans. So here we go, folks. I'm going to be doing a series of coaching candidates to get you prepared for who's going to be coming in and talking and interviewing, because we're at that point in the season. So let's jump right in, folks. So Ben Johnsoon started his career, at least collegiately in football, at the University of North Carolina, where he was a walk-on quarterback, was there from 2004 to 2007, graduated from there with a degree in mathematics and computer science. He began his coaching career in football at Boston College, where he was a graduate assistant in 2009 and then promoted to tight ends coach. Then went on to the Miami Dolphins, where he started as an offensive assistant, worked his way up, and then landed with the Detroit Lions, where he currently is the offensive coordinator, and he's been in that role for 2 years. For some of those who follow the team, you know that Ben Johnsoon interviewed here last year. He did not turn the offer down because he interviewed with multiple teams, but he decided to go back to Detroit because he had unfinished business. So that's what it was. Who knows what it's going to look like this year, at least. So I'm going to go through and highlight Ben Johnson's profile in a little more detail. You can go out and do this as well. It's on the Detroit Lions website. Just search for Ben Johnsoon, and they've got a nice write-up to, get you caught up to speed on who he is and what he does. So we talked about his time there. So Johnsoon joined the Miami Dolphins again after spending 3 seasons at Boston College. It's been his final season as a tight ends coach there. In 2012, Johnsoon started with the Dolphins as an offensive assistant and helped an offense that finished 4th in the AFC in rushing touchdowns with 15. From 2013 to 15, Johnsoon served as the team's assistant quarterbacks coach, and in 2015 was promoted to the tight ends coach during the season. In 2014, Johnsoon helped quarterback Ryan Tannehill finish with 4,045 passing yards, joining quarterback Dan Marino as the only quarterbacks in Dolphins history to surpass 4,000 yards in a season. That's pretty good. Tannehill passed for 4,208 passing yards in 2015 and steadily improved his passing yardage in all 4 of his NFL seasons with Johnsoon coaching his position. And I wonder if this has been updated with Tua. I don't know where Tua's numbers are this season. I feel like he's got to be close. In Johnson's first season as an assistant wide receiver coach in 2016, he helped the Dolphins win 10 games and earn their first playoff berth since 2008. Johnsoon coached Landry to 94 receptions for 1,136 yards, averaging 12.1 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. Earning in 2nd consecutive Pro Bowl selection, Landry's 94 receptions were 4th in single-season Dolphins history, and his 1,136 receiving yards were 8th. In 2017, Johnsoon helped wide receiver Jarvis Landry catch a Dolphins franchise record and an NFL high, 112 receptions. Landry also earned Pro Bowl recognition for the 3rd consecutive season and caught a career-high 9 touchdown passes. Prior to joining Detroit, he was promoted to the Dolphins wide receivers coach in 2018, where he helped wide receiver Albert Wilson average the 2nd most yards after catch, 12.9 in the NFL, and the 5th highest yards per target at 11.2. In 2020, Johnsoon helped guide a second-year tight end TJ Hawkinson to his first career Pro Bowl after posting 67 receptions for 723 yards and 6 touchdowns. Hawkinson became just the 5th tight end in franchise history to earn Pro Bowl honors and the first since 1999. Among all NFL tight ends, Hawkinson ranked in the top 5 in receiving yards, 3rd, receiving touchdowns 3rd, and receptions 4th. Under Johnson's guidance, former Lions running back Jamal Williams reached career milestones within Detroit's offense. The Lions running back led the NFL in rushing touchdowns among the team's running back core, in 2002. In the process, Williams set a new franchise single-season record with 17 rushing touchdowns. The team also ran for 100 or more yards in 13 games. In Johnson's first season calling plays, it marked the most games with at least 100 rushing yards since producing 14 games with 100 plus in 1997. And as we start to think about the profile of the Panthers, a solid, down-to-earth, keep pounding rushing attack is exactly what I am looking for Build around the defense, have an offense that can run the ball. But guess what? He also does things really well with quarterbacks. Also love his tight ends. Having a tight end and tight ends involved, take that all day. Goff was able to experience considerable success within the offense. He was among the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And yes, he is part of the resurrection of Jared Goff, because I thought Jared Goff was sent over there to die. Like, not literally, but from the quarterback world, I didn't think he was going to survive in Detroit. He was among the top quarterbacks in the NFL as Detroit rallied to win 8 of the final 10 games while taking exceptional care of the football. Since Week 10 of the 2022 season, Goff was the only NFL quarterback to attempt at least 100 passes and not throw an interception. The streak marked the first time in Goff's career, and he went 9 straight starts without an interception. Goff concluded the 2022 season having attempted 324 consecutive passes without an interception, which ranks as the 5th longest streak in NFL history. Goff also established a new franchise record for touchdown to interception ratio at 4.14 and an interception rate of 1.2%, while tying for the best passer rating in team history. And if y'all remember, there was this guy named Matt Stafford that played for them that was a pretty darn good quarterback. Detroit's offense also ranked near the top of the NFL in several major categories in 2022, finishing the season ranked 5th in points per game, 4th in total offense, 4th in red zone efficiency, and 1st in giveaways. The Lions scored 30 or more points in 8 games in 2022, tied for the most in the NFL, while establishing a new franchise record for the most 30-point games in a single season. With Johnston's assistance, 4 players were named to the Pro Bowl: Frank Ragnow, Penny Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff. It marked the first time Detroit had 4 offensive players in the Pro Bowl since 1971. Detroit's offensive production under Johnson in 2022 ranks among some of the best numbers the club has ever registered in a single season as a franchise. The group played a pivotal role in the team's record turnaround, winning 8 of the last 10 games. Talked about that. They kind of get repetitive here, but I really like this. So Ben Johnsoon, again, was promoted to offensive coordinator in 2022 after spending time again with the Lions in multiple roles. This is what Dan Campbell had to say about Ben Johnsoon. I think Ben's a rock star, man, Campbell said. He's a young guy, but he's kind of gone a little longer, harder road to get to where he's at. He's been around some really good coaches. Now, some guys who have coached some pretty good quarterbacks. Just being around Mike Sherman when I was with him down there in Miami. Joe Philbin, who was with Aaron Rodgers. Then he's with Adam Gase, who had Peyton Manning and those guys. So he understands quarterback play well. He was with Zach Taylor, who was with me in Miami. We were all together there in Miami, so he understands it well. There you go, folks. And when we talk about the season, where it is today for the Lions, the production has not stopped where it was. So again, last year they were 5th in the league at 26.6 points per game, 11th in rushing yards per game, 128, 8th in passing yards per game. Jared Goff threw for 4,438 yards. Monster stats. And then as we look ahead, and last year we know they finished 9-8, just outside of the playoffs. This year, 11-5, first in the NFC North, won the NFC North for the first time in 30 years. Tons of good positive coming out of there. You talk about a team writing the culture and getting the culture right with Dan Campbell, but being a part of that grassroots, just digging your feet in. He's got the ties to North Carolina, folks, in general, so maybe he is the right guy, and I like what he can do with the offense. This year, they are 26.9 points per game, which is 5th in the league, 4th in rushing yards per game. I love a good rushing attack, and 6th in passing yards per game. Other stats, total yards, 3rd in the league, average yard per play, 5.9, 4th in the league. I mean, the stats speak for themselves. I know there's hesitation because people have seen them on prime time and they didn't look great against Dallas, but no. If we had to start ranking head coaching candidates, and if you told me we had to pick an offensive-minded coach, this would be the pick for me personally. Like, hands down, when I even start to think about other guys, I think he is at the top of the list. And I want to know what y'all think, folks. So this is your first profile review. Ben Johnsoon in the books. Drop your comments Let me know who you think should be the new coach of the Carolina.